So much grace has been given to the Trump administration, says absolutely no one. This is one last point. It's really interesting the perspectives people have in the differences of how it is that they are treated. There's a video we're going to play here of Michelle Obama talking to, I think it's Good Morning America, where she's talking about, the struggles that she and her husband had to endure in the White House, as opposed to what? Is this different for you guys and it's not for everybody else? Everybody else had this, this fantastic grace period from the media, except for, conservatives, or except for, Trump, or except for, anybody else. Bottom line is, she says something that is so ubiquitously untrue that it kind of makes you think, oh my gosh, yeah, if you actually believe this, Michelle, I could see why you think the country is the way that it is not. There's a certain element of, you're only able to dream up fascinations or inconsistencies with reality if you believe something like this. I'll stop talking about it and just play it really quick. This is Michelle Obama on Good Morning America. Watch this.
You said, we were all too aware that as a first black couple, we couldn't afford any mistakes. Woman, I was under a particularly white,
Dang it.
hot.
I'm sorry. I muted the wrong one to cough. Okay, I'm just going to play it from this part again.
We were all too aware that as a first black couple, we couldn't afford any missteps.
Yeah.
And you also say, as a black woman, I was under a particularly white, hot glare. Did you feel that?
For sure. You can't afford to get anything wrong because you didn't get at least until the country came to know us, we didn't get the grace that I think some other families have gotten.
What in the hell is she talking about? Like, just honest to God. Okay. Yes, the Trump administration has received tons of grace from the DC establishment, the political elite, the media, the mainstream media. They've received so much grace that the Obamas did not get because they're black, which, by the way, is totally untrue, right? Like, we're being sarcastic and satirical when we say that the Trump administration has gotten any grace or any leeway from all of the power players in Washington, D.C. To assume that would make you crazy. And then on top of that, to inaccurately diagnose what's happening, but then to say because we're black, blows my mind. I honest to God don't know where to go with this, because it's so outside of the realm of reality that it's kind of difficult to even make any arguments against it, right? Like, the basis of it is untrue, and then the diagnosis of the untrue thing is also ridiculous, which leaves you in a spot of going like, do we even take this seriously? Like, is this even a thing that we like pretend like, oh yeah, well, let's look at this from a serious and political and media scope. Let's look at this as a real complaint and a real concern. I don't know that there has been a president in the history of this country that has gotten more leniency, more grace, especially early on, than Barack Obama. I don't know that there has been a president that has been able to skate by and avoid the criticisms of the mainstream media like Barack Obama had and continues to have. Remember, Barack Obama, when campaigning for Kamala Harris this last cycle, reiterated many of the lies that have been debunked thoroughly over the last 10 years, specifically the good people on both sides thing. Barack Obama himself said that. He knows it's not true. We know it's not true. Everybody with half an inclination to dive into something at a minimal level knows that it's not true, and yet he still said it and suffered zero political consequences for it. So in what world, Michelle, was there some lack of grace period that you didn't get because of the melanin content in your skin that other presidents have gotten? When was the Trump grace period? I must have missed that. I must have completely surpassed my recognition of it, because I must have been asleep. I don't know. Maybe I was. The 30-second grace period that the Trump administration got, which, if there was any, it was about that long. I probably was, I don't know, asleep. Actually, that's probably not true. I was probably eating pizza because of the time change during the inauguration, which is the only time frame that 30 seconds could have happened. I probably was getting pizza because I was on, the West Coast. So it was 9 p.m., but it was midnight on the East Coast. And so during that 30-second grace period that the media gave the president, I probably was at a late night pizza place. That's why I missed it. Bottom line here is the grace period that is afforded to others was apparently not afforded to the Obamas, which is the opposite of true. And the opposite of true happened because, of course, they were black, which, not to go in on this, do you think, and I'm genuinely curious, email the show, tbt@tpusa.com. Producer Glenn has some thoughts. 1 second, Glenn. Or comment on YouTube. Do you think that Barack Obama got more votes or less votes because he was black? I would stake my entire net worth on the fact that he got more votes. Do you think Hillary Clinton got more votes because she was a woman or less? All of the things that libs complain about constantly, generally speaking, are the opposite of what they actually are. Hillary Clinton got more votes because she was a woman. She lost because she's a terrible candidate, but she did better than she would have had she been a man. Barack Obama got more votes because he was black, not because of he didn't get less votes because he claims, the country is racist, which is just factually untrue. And race relations got worse under Obama, but we don't need to go into that whole thing. But the bottom line here is Barack Obama got more votes because he was black. Hillary Clinton got more votes because she was a woman. And yet continually there's a claim of, wow, we didn't get the same grace period that other presidents get. Okay. Well, let me know when that grace period starts for the Trump administration, or if I missed it entirely. Glenn, your thoughts?
I was thinking about the grace period comment, and I had just finished Eric Trump's book Under Siege, and he mentions in the book that there was about 17 minutes, I think he said, it was like 17 or 19 minutes, some very small number of minutes after Trump was inaugurated in 2017, before the first mainstream media, I forget the outlet, they had posted an article about now's the time to start impeachment. Like he was president for 20 damn minutes, and they had already written this article and they posted it on Inauguration Day. Like, what kind of grace period was that? Because they didn't write it within those it was already planned out. There was never a plan for any kind of grace, and you are completely correct. Obama got so much grace, and probably more so than any president in my lifetime.
Well, the one thing that we know for sure is true, that 17-minute window in which there was a grace period for President Trump before they started calling for impeachments would have been only, 14 minutes if he were black. So
of course, because of racism.
Because of racism. Yes, exactly, Glenn. Thank you. You're catching on. Thank you for glomming on to the message here. It's yeah.
And it's tough as obviously a white man. I can't understand the experience of anyone other than white men because racism, right?
Because of racism. Yes.
No, but back in reality, I think it's very sad to see Michelle talk like this, and I don't know if she actually believes it. Like, yeah, I think part of my brain says she doesn't believe this, but she thinks a lot of the audience believes it. So she's maybe playing into that idea, which is totally racist, by the way. But what if she does? Like, how sad is that to limit yourself by that?
That is the actual problem. Like, if they actually believe it, that's when you have a, like, like, we're going to have to do something about this because holy cow, this is where things go off the rails fast. Because when people, like, not to give any... no pun intended, not to give any grace to people who say things that they don't believe. But if you actually believe it, that's worse. And that's been a running theme on this show. Like, are they stupid or do they actually believe this thing that they are saying? But fascinating. I guess we'll never know. But, as far as right now, I guess the only option is to take her at her word. Maybe she does in fact believe it, and maybe we are in fact doomed if more and more people start believing this. Producer Glenn, I will see you at the next privilege meeting, as you are white and I have been called white adjacent because I believe in conservative values, and the internet does not accept that. Are you bringing the chips and I'm bringing the salsa, or what? How does the privilege meeting work that's coming up here?
It's proportionate to your privilege. So I'll be bringing more chips. You just bring a few.
Fantastic. This has been One Last Point. Thanks for tuning in.